Hi there. This little video is on how to take the LM remedies. The LM, the L stands for 50, that's the Roman numeral 50, and M stands for 1,000. So these remedies have been diluted to the 50,000s. I know. This is where we get a lot of heat from this one. There's some very interesting YouTube videos about LMs, about this concept. But nonetheless, they work. So another thing about LMs, when I explain LMs, I like to talk about the energy of them, the pace of them. Since they're made with so much water, I like to compare it to two rivers. The first one would be the mountain stream, like the Colorado River. That would be compared to the dry dose. There's a lot of power in that one, and it's not from so much the volume of water, it's more from the succussion of it. Just like a mountain stream. A mountain stream, it's not that there's a lot of water, it's just that it comes down so fast that that's where its power is. It goes over rocks and it crashes cliff walls, and there are even crazy people who bring out yellow airboats and ride these rivers. I mean, how's that for crazy, right? The other kind is like the LM. That's more like the Mississippi River, where you have a lot of water, and the power of that river is in the volume of the water. And if you want a beautiful, relaxful Sunday afternoon, you just go to the Mississippi River. You hop on a boat called the Jonathan Paddleford. You sit in your lounge and you get your little drink with your umbrella on it and the sun and the wind, and you have a ton of support underneath you with that gigantic boat. So that would be how the energy of these LMs is what it's like. They were formulated by Hahnemann at the end of his life. He was really struggling to find a way to put this big safety net, this big support underneath people who were very elderly and they were very fragile, someone who's very weak, the very sensitive, really touchy folks. And he experimented and experimented and finally came up with this one. So to make your remedy, you need your remedy, again, a glass and a metal spoon and half a cup of water, or a fourth cup. You can experiment with that, see if one works better for you or not. So then you want to take your remedy and you want, again, to succuss today's remedy so that it's a little bit stronger than yesterday's, and tomorrow's is going to be a little bit stronger than today's. So what you want to do is take your remedy and you grab the bottle and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you're not pounding it, it's just a firm, jarring sensation. And so now your remedy is a little bit stronger than it was yesterday. The only other thing to remember is you want to make the succussion even, right? So if my eyedropper is full, that's going to be succussed at a different rate than the body of the jar. So before you start, be sure to make that empty out fully, that eyedropper. So now the whole body of the remedy is succussed evenly. So my remedy has been succussed. I take out the eyedropper. I drop 7 drops into my water like that. And then I just take my water and I stir it around 10 to 15 seconds to kind of really mix it up, add a little more stooge to that. I take my teaspoon or my half teaspoon. Again, that is something you can control. You can test that and see if there is a difference. I don't think there typically is a whole lot of difference, so usually I just have folks take a teaspoon. And then you're done. That's it. So you can just throw this remedy away. And then you would make a new one tomorrow. The only other thing I can also say about this too is if all of a sudden you have this huge crisis in your life and you are really struggling, to try to make it through the day. You can try to just, instead of throwing it away in the morning, just set it aside and make another batch, or not make another batch, I mean stir it that night, 10 to 15 seconds, have another teaspoon, and see if that helps support you as you're going through this rough time. And then again, the next day, you would start over with a brand new solution, glass, metal spoon, half a cup of water, my remedy, empty out so that the eyedropper is empty, and then boom, 10 times, and then 7 drops in the water. Last thing is never, ever, ever go over 7 drops, ever. That appears to be an absolute ceiling. You can go less than 7 if you feel like 7 is a bit strong. You can go less than 7, but never ever go beyond 7. One of the reasons Hahnemann loved the variability of this remedy, you can do a little less, you can do a little more, and he found that some people could really find their sweet spot if they could just take half a teaspoon instead of a teaspoon, or things like that. So do feel free to experiment with that if you think that would be helpful. Just let me know what you find out on that so that I can record that, and that helps us evaluate the action of the remedy. That's all I had, and as always, good luck.